Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And we're from everybodyswing.com. And here we are halfway through our trip on at Hedonism in Jamaica. And it's amazing here. If you ever get a chance to come down here, this is a place to do it.
Yeah, I've decided I'm not going home.
Yeah, it's like relaxing. We've been just taking so many naps and
no, we haven't.
Well, you have.
No, I haven't. I took one nap. One day.
What time did you go to bed last night?
Well, that's not a nap. That's going to bed. Shut up. Fuck you.
Bed nap. In the lifestyle, you're supposed to party.
Okay, you want to pull that shit? Who ate all the beef jerky?
I ate all the beef jerky. I'm sorry. I was a bad husband. We went to an excursion. We went to an excursion last night, and it was like really long. And
I didn't think to eat before we left.
We got back here at like a few minutes after 10, and there's no food on this resort between 10 and midnight. And so I ended up just like, we had beef jerky in the room, and she was like, I'm gonna shower. So she went in the shower, and I ate all the beef jerky. I was a totally insensitive husband.
Then I get out of the shower, I go to grab some. I'm like, you ate it all?
There were nuts too, and she said she was gonna eat the nuts.
Like, no, I didn't. I said, oh look, we have nuts too. So I'm like thinking it's a little like appetizer. We got beef jerky and we've got nuts.
So yeah, so I was bad. Yeah. Anyway, so, and in case you're wondering, there are people sitting next to us because that's what's going on here. This is Tom and Bunny, and they are from Freedom Acres. They are. So are you the? What's your job at Freedom Acres? What's your title?
General manager.
General managers of Freedom Acres.
Yeah.
Okay, and Freedom Acres is in Southern California.
Yep, we are in San Bernardino, right where all the fires are.
Right. They're always up in the mountains.
Always.
You guys start those fires because it's so hot.
It is hot.
Okay, so Freedom Acres, it's actually funny where you guys are located. Although we live in Seattle and we have for 20 some odd years, I grew up like a half hour from Freedom Acres. I had no idea, right in Lake Arrowhead, just right nearby there. And we actually met in college in Riverside all those years ago, and we were there we dated for probably 3 months, and we're like, we don't like California anymore. Let's get the hell out of here. And we just randomly picked up a town, and we're like, oh, Seattle, I heard that was nice. And it was like, Sleepless in Seattle was a very big movie that everybody loved, and there was rain in it and all that. We're like, oh, okay, perfect. We'll move there, and haven't looked back all these years later. But we have been back to California because her family's there, that type of thing. And since we got in the lifestyle, we're like, okay, we gotta see what California's all about, because California people, I mean, the stereotypes as far as in lifestyle are like California people are the freakiest.
Yes.
Yeah. And the party people and all that. And so we're like, okay, we need to see what's going on down there. So like we had just been in lifestyle for probably I don't know, a year and a half, and we're like, okay, we went down to Freedom Acres. Let's go down to Freedom Acres. Yeah. And we met you guys. Where did we meet you guys?
At
Fantasy.
We met you guys at Fantasy, which is a resort that doesn't exist anymore. But it was in Puerto Vallarta. Yep. And we met you guys. It was like a preview week or something along those lines.
Podcasters, travel agents, club owners, they wanted input from all of us.
Right. That's right. And we were like the models. We were the models. They brought us down there to take pictures of people naked by the pool. And we're like, okay, we could be naked in Puerto Vallarta. That sounds fine.
I don't think we were naked.
Yeah.
No, all the pictures in the pool we were wearing swimsuits.
It wasn't until the
we were
second
actually
time.
only naked in the playroom.
Yeah, because
I've got pictures.
Really?
I've got pictures. I got pictures on the bed, those outdoor beds. I mean, I don't think they weren't used for anything because the place closed down.
Right.
So it was a free trip for just spending a few hours getting our pictures taken by someone. Hopefully he worked with the group. I don't know. We met you guys there, and and you guys were like, oh, Freedom Acres, that's a place you guys need to check out. And we're like, okay, next time we're in California, we're gonna do that.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about Freedom Acres, about the building, about what goes on there.
Freedom Acres has been there for 35 years.
Okay.
The owner that owns it now wasn't the original owner. Bobby and Jerry were the original owners. Russ, the owner, was their very first customer when they walked in. So
Okay.
he actually holds card number 1. Then all of a sudden, 20 years ago, for whatever reason, he made an off-the-cuff remark about buying the place, and now he owns it.
Wow.
Okay.
And he had no intentions of actually buying it. And then 2 years later, me and Bunny actually started working there, and we are about 14,000 square foot.
Wow, that's huge.
Our playroom itself has 69 mattresses, and we did not do that on purpose.
Sure.
No, it was totally by accident. Russ told the manager to go count the mattresses for seats, and when he came up with 69, we decided not to add any more.
Yeah.
Understood.
When you were there, did they have the big jacuzzi in the inside or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
We have 2 full-on nightclubs now. We have 2 DJs cranking all night long, and then we just now extended our buffet for the whole entire wall. That pole that you were dancing on in the bar area, gone. An entire buffet wall.
You get rid of the pole for a buffet.
Yes, people love to eat.
So is it the same buffet all night, or is it
same buffet all night?
Okay, because we used to go to a place in Portland that would have a buffet between like 7 p.m. and like 11 or something, like midnight maybe, and then after midnight it would change to like a dessert one, and like they would just have cookies and that type of thing.
They changed to breakfast.
Oh, breakfast. I'm sorry, you're right. They changed to breakfast. It's because it was the after sex thing. So people were like bacon and eggs and all that at like 2 in the morning. It was like, oh, fantastic.
But they would bring around trays of cookies.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, trays of cookies. And but yeah, food is one of those things that like a lot of clubs kind of forget about, or they really think of it as a side note.
Russ' secret to success was you feed them. He said that a lot of clubs open up, throw mattresses down, hold their hand out, want money, and they always fail. The one thing they forget is food.
Okay.
Because you're
When
burning
you have
a lot
sex,
of calories.
You are.
You're burning calories.
And then you don't want your people to drive home drunk. You want to sober them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, so putting more food in them. That's a good idea. So you find that, I mean, is it better to have like a big old buffet with lots of different things, or just, snacks?
We find that it depends on the party. A house party can get away with snacks and stuff. You don't want to kill your entire budget on food for 20, 30 people. Last Saturday we had 500 people at our club.
Wow.
So we need a full-on buffet.
So I mean, do you have any specific demographics at the crowd, or is it,
I have a model. I mean, we get everyone from 21 to 80, and I know some people that are 21 go, ooh, 80, and the 80s are like, hell yeah, there's 21-year-olds there. But we got all shapes, sizes, all different races. So my thing is, there's always someone for everyone at Freedom Acres.
Yeah.
You cannot go in there and not find a match. Brittany said it, there's always a lid to every pot.
Right.
Yes.
So, yes.
And just like everybody else, you get these 21-year-olds or, the ones that are first coming in here where we're only going to play with people that
look like
us. And then they come the second or third time and they find that they've been standing there. Because they're not being social.
Right.
If you're going to be anti-social, you're not going to last.
Yeah, and you have to be social with everyone. You have to be social with everyone. You should be social with everyone.
We try to be.
Because we talk to people all the time that we might not be particularly physically attracted to, or it's not going to go anywhere. But we love the conversation. We love just hearing their stories and seeing what's entertaining about them or what's going on in their world. And oftentimes that leads to conversations with other people, or someone overhears something we're talking about, and it's like, oh, you're from such and such, I'm from such and such. And
that's what Bunny always says. Don't discount meeting someone, whether if you're not attracted to them, they may have a friend you are attracted to, and
or their daughter.
Or their daughter. But if that does happen.
Again, California.
But if you ignore a couple and they are good friends with the couple you really want, your street credit just went out the door. You're not going to get the couple you want.
That's a really good point.
It's a good, because there definitely have been people that we've played with, or that other people have played with, and they're like, those guys are great, just don't play with them. It's going to get really awkward or weird or something. Actually, there was one couple.
They cock-blocked you.
Maybe, or they saved the day. There was one couple I can think of off the top of my head that was that we had met a few times on a cruise. That someone else was like, we played with them last night, and she's a biter. And no, I'm not talking cutesy, sexy bite. I'm talking biter. And it's like, nah, instantly my penis just shoots up inside my body. And
go have Miss Couples cruise lick your nipples.
Again, I like biting and nibbles
Okay,
and that
she's
type
a
of thing.
biter.
That's all good. That's all good. I was dating a girl who would give me hickeys every week and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, this is all good. Or
Battle scars.
Yeah, battle scars, just random on my body, and I love that type of thing. But not on my junk.
No.
On my junk, I'm like,
I want to use it later.
that's right. I just want. I don't want it to hurt. I mean, sex is a good thing. It's like, fuck.
Some people are into that though. So,
Biting?
There's a whole group here in
Yeah.
that are into biting penises. Okay, all right.
Did you see Brittany's ass?
I would bite a lot of people's asses here.
Her ass is about between these 3 colors, combine them. She got spanked by the
really? Oh no,
freaky
I haven't
people.
seen that ass.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
She went into the BDSM group the other night. Well, she goes, I'm sure in my drunk wisdom there was talk of a safe word, but I don't remember it. And I didn't use it. I'm like,
Now, when you were at our club, going back to the club,
Yeah.
did you go over to the resort, or did we own the
No,
resort?
you didn't. The resort wasn't open at the time, so
Okay.
it's been a few years since we were there.
It's been at least 3 years because we've had the resort for over 3 years now.
Yeah. I think it was right before that.
right before that.
Probably about 5 years ago.
Like I said, her family is down in Riverside, and we go down there for a few days or a week a year.
Right.
We just don't really like it down there anymore.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we love the beach. Who doesn't love the beach?
Right.
But when you actually come inland, then it's like it's hot, and it's always during the summer because the kids are out of school and all that, and it's like 110 degrees, and that's actually the reason we left Southern California. But if we're ever available on a Saturday evening or something like that, we're absolutely jumping to your place.
Well, if you come to the resort, you can always stay at our place. That's not a problem.
Okay.
We actually own a place there.
Well, then we don't have to stay with my parents.
Hey, woo! That works for me.
our pool parties on Saturday afternoons are like pool party here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, they can get bigger than here. We used to, it's winter time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing it for 3 years. But a lot of times people at the club, they'll go party until 2 in the morning. Then they'll just jump into the shuttle van, right over, do hot tub parties, because we got 2 hot tubs at the resort.
Okay.
And during the Saturday day, there could be 300-400 people inside the pool and around the deck.
Right.
And they got live DJs from noon till 5, food, everything up there. But then the midnight pool parties and the foam parties is what brings everyone out.
Okay.
We're talking one morning at 3 in the morning, we were leaving the pool, and it was a nude pool party at midnight to 8, 3 in the morning, 183 people in the pool.
That sounds like fun.
That's awesome.
That sounds like people would be running into my penis. That
Yes.
sounds fine. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right.
Always comes back to your penis.
It does. It does.
And another thing you don't know is, because it's been like 5 years since you've been there, we were open like 3 days a week when you came.
Okay.
Now we're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Wow.
So, 7 days. So how is that like on just a random Tuesday evening or something?
Tuesdays are just getting started. What the owner found out is that instead of us trying to run a club, he rents out the club to other clubs who don't have a home.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead of them doing it at their house or at a local bar, he partners up with them, and they do it together. And then they do all the promotions. I help them a little bit, but they are required to do predominantly most of it.
Right.
They bring it in. We bring in the DJ, the security. They usually do their own bartenders, and then either we do their food or they do their food. And so Tuesdays are just getting started right now. Wednesdays, imagine Wednesday with 60, 80 couples on a Wednesday night.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Most clubs would give their left nut for that on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's Secret Desires. Secret Desires, they promote. I mean, every time I'm on the computer, all I see is Secret Desires, Secret Desires. Well, those guys know how to promote.
Yeah, well, that's definitely something we have seen every time we've gone down to California. Is I'll go on one of the swinger websites, and I'll just kind of look and see
Secret Desires?
I'll just see what's going on in California.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
It's a Saturday night. I'm just what's the list of what's going on, and I mean there's so much stuff
There's
going
a
on.
lot to go on.
Where so many times, and Seattle has a pretty big lifestyle community, but there's
Right.
really not that much. I mean, we have Sapphire there, who's actually one of our sponsors, Club Sapphire, is there, and they're a huge club, relatively speaking.
Right.
Where in California we saw like on one of the websites it was like house party,
40 clubs
we're
within
meeting
10
at a
miles.
restaurant. It was just crazy.
It
Just
is crazy.
Just on a random Saturday night, just how much stuff there is
Now,
to choose from.
imagine this. On a random Saturday night, let's just say there's 40 clubs open in Southern California, all within an hour's drive of us.
Yeah.
We're getting over 200 couples. And I know all those parties have good turnout. Some of those house parties, 40, 50, 60 couples.
Yeah.
That means there's a ton of swingers in Southern California.
You guys
Yeah.
are freaky.
And 1 in 4 was one of the numbers I heard.
Well, 1 in 4. I like that. I don't. That's a pretty high number.
One of the news channels did a survey.
1 in 4 are just in some sort of non-monogamous relationship.
In Orange County, 1 in 4 admitted to either being in the lifestyle or would be in the lifestyle.
Or would be in the if there was a reason to move back to Southern California, that would be it. That would be it.
Especially in Orange County.
Especially in Orange County. Yeah.
Well, and especially for us because we're grandfathered in. We have all the health department licenses.
Yes.
Sure.
You know, through the fire department.
A-rated food service.
Food. So
none of the other clubs really do, so they're putting themselves at risk. But that's how all clubs are.
Right.
we have so many good friends that open their clubs and they're open for about a year and then they get closed down. You gotta start back over.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, we know a couple of clubs that have been closed down by the fire department or the health department just because they don't want clubs like ours.
Right.
And not that they have anything against them in particular, but we know one couple who have gotten shut down in 3 different locations and now they're still back up. They've been open for 15 years. They just keep moving locations.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Wow. Well, that's hey, they're staying open. So
Right.
however, whatever it takes. Actually, one of my favorite stories, lifestyle stories, and I won't mention any names, happened at Freedom Acres.
Okay.
So,
Do I know?
You know this story.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think you've told this story to other people.
I probably mentioned names.
We're there like 10 minutes. And you have a bring your own alcohol thing. That's how you stay legal there. So we had our alcohol with us, and we're standing in line at the bar, and we were just waiting our turn. There's 3 or 4 people ahead of us, and I look at the bartender, and I'm like, she looks familiar to me. She looks familiar to me, and I can't quite figure it out. Where do I know her from? And I look at Bianca. I'm like, does that bartender look familiar? And she's like,
Not at all.
no, not at all. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like,
no. In a vanilla club, should be going, bitch, no.
Why are you looking at her?
Why are you looking at her?
And so then we're taking turns, and we finally get up to our turn, and right as it's our turn, it hits me, and I go, "Is your name blank?" And she looks at me like, shit. Her eyes like wide open, like, oh my God, did I just get caught? And then 2 seconds later, it hits her too. Oh my God, Matt. And like, yeah, we went to high school together. Yep. I mean, it's just like, we grew up down there.
Her and Bianca are dancing on the pole together.
I'm like, I never saw her boobs in high school, but I finally saw them 20 some odd years later. Yay me.
And I grew up
and they're nice boobs.
And they are nice boobs.
Nice boobs.
I appreciated her boobs quite thoroughly.
I'm going to tell her to listen and watch this.
And I grew up in Phoenix. And I run into classmates.
Do you
They
really?
come in from Arizona.
From
to come to the
Arizona.
club.
There's just nothing really in Arizona. They're starting to pop back up.
Okay. Because that's actually happened to us on a few occasions. We were, again, right when we started the lifestyle, when we went to that club in Portland. We went to a club in Portland, and I think that was our first club experience. All right. Nightclub type lifestyle thing. So we had been in it, let's see, that would have been, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. I mean, we'd just barely done anything at all. And we're in the club, and some guy walked up to Bianca and goes, "Are you from California?" And she goes, "No." And then a few minutes later, Bianca comes up to me and goes, "This guy just asked if I was from California." I'm like, "Well, you are from California. It's just been so long. We always say we're from Seattle. I mean, that's we're not from California, but we originally are from California." So I'm like, "Well, why don't you go up and talk to him and just clarify that, because you didn't think of it at the time." And so she goes, "Yeah, well," she goes up to him and she's like, "Yeah, well, I live in Seattle now, and I've been there 20 years, but I'm originally from Riverside, California." And he's like, "Uh-oh. Bianca, we went to high school together. We were, she was a cheerleader and he was on the football team." And it was like, and I mean, you didn't know each other.
It took me a little while to finally clicked because we didn't really talk a whole lot.
Right.
But like we knew each other because we were in the same like.
I thought all cheerleaders did all the football players.
I was the one cheerleader I was the nerdy cheerleader.
The nerdy. And now look at you.
That's right. She's making up for lost time.
I did
She's
cheer
looking for
because-
football players.
I did cheer because it was fun, but I was also into theater and that kind of stuff too. And all my good friends were in theater, so I hung out with them.
That's okay.
I didn't
I
hang
was
out
the
with
band
football
and
players.
choir geek.
Funny.
Yeah. So have you ever run into someone where it was actually awkward?
No, not awkward.
No, we
think you're
made
both
it
hanging
awkward.
out.
You made it. How did you make it awkward?
We went to her class reunion.
Okay.
It was her,
You didn't make it awkward. I made it awkward.
so
Oh, this is a good story. I'm listening.
it was her 20th anniversary. First thing is, you know how swingers actually appear younger
Yes.
than their counterparts.
Yes.
Because you got to look good for other people
Yes.
along as well as yourself.
Yes.
Well, we go to watch, and if anyone watches this, they're gonna hate her because I'm saying it. They don't know me, but meh. So we walk in, and Buddy stops me and she goes, "I think we're in the wrong place." She goes, "I think this is the 30-year class reunion." So we stepped back out and looked. No, it was hers. Now what I did was, I hijacked her classmates.com. And I'm looking at it. It'd been up there for years, and I'm like, really? 3 views? What I do is promotions for Freedom Makers. I'm like, I gotta fix this. I put up all of our lingerie pictures. This on Classmates. She went from 3 views to 300 views, like within an hour and a half. She really didn't know I did that.
Sex sells, man.
Sex sells. So we walk into the class reunion, and next thing you know, they're going, "Bonnie!" She's all excited. She goes, "You remember me?" And they're like, "No, but we've seen your pictures."
I want to know you now.
So I got her drunk, and I told people, I said, "Ask her where she works."
I did. I'm like,
I work at a swing.
I work in a swing club. Oh, we thought you did porn.
Well, with
on the off hours.
a couple more drinks, maybe. Want to find out?
Now where it gets awkward. We took our
Now
motorhome.
it's where it gets awkward.
Now
Right?
it's where it gets awkward. We take our motorhome, and so we're staying in the parking lot, and everyone's in our motorhome. We're having a big party. And I was outside doing something. I come up, Bunny's shirt's over her boobs, and her pants are around her ankles, and I look at her right in front of everyone. I said, "Pull your pants up, pull your shirt down. We're not fucking none of these people." I don't know what she was thinking.
Oh, man.
The only thing I know is we went back for the sit-down dinner on the Saturday night, and by 10 o'clock, I was so uncomfortable we had to leave because no one was allowed to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I can
All the
see
wives.
that. I can see that, and you know, so this is Arizona.
Yes.
So, well, I mean, that's a pretty open state. I mean, I guess it depends on what city you're in, but I mean, it's fairly liberal.
Right, but it's kind of funny that the wives didn't want the husbands to talk to Bunny.
Right, yeah.
Because they think swingers just go do everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
at all.
Yeah, and I think it would just kind of depend on where like someplace, like if you did that in like you grew up in Mississippi or something like that.
God.
Yeah, you would have been killed, and you would never see her. Yeah.
Do your wife.
Right. Yeah.
So now, a very good friend of mine is an erotic author. She went to the last reunion.
You'll
I did
meet her
not
because she lives
go.
in Seattle. We'll give her your phone number.
Okay.
I did not go. She went, and they started to bring up me at the reunion. So she says, "Oh
You know
yeah,
Bunny's a swinger?"
I heard she did that," and then it flipped onto her on what she does for a living now. And I'm like, thank God that there's 2 of us.
Exactly, and that conversation probably wouldn't have happened if it wouldn't have been just kind of out there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like that. I mean, which is also one of the reasons that we are so out and about everywhere is because, you know, if I have some random high school friend or whatever it might be, or someone I know in the vanilla world, and they just happen to come across one of our videos and they're curious about it, whether they're ever going to do anything lifestyle or not, if they actually start to understand how our brains are, and you know that we're not these big scary people that are going to come and try to take their wives away from them, we might, but
Just for a few minutes.
just for a few minutes. We'll give them back.
The difference between us and their friends is we'll give them the honest answer.
Yes.
If
You're
they
not
ask
going to
us
use something
something,
behind their back either.
No.
we're not going to talk behind their back. We're going to give them the honest answer. We're going to be a true friend.
Right.
Because we want down their panties, maybe.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. That's possibly.
And the thing with us is we're so open. We're an open book. Our family knows.
Our whole family knows.
Our whole family knows. We thought we hid it from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah,
They all knew.
No,
They
no.
were hiding it that they knew from us.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it is with us. I mean, or there's people that know we're something. They
Right.
know they don't know the specifics of it. You know, they don't know the details. But it's like on our vanilla Facebook pages, you know, it says we're in an open relationship. Very few people have actually asked us about that. But
And some of them have asked us about
yeah. But most people they just accept it and don't want, either they don't want to know or they
Right.
feel awkward asking or whatever. We're like, no, ask.
Yeah.
But they just won't. But I know they're all curious.
Right.
But we have
watching your vlogs.
we have a lot of people that have run into just accidentally coming across us. You know, they type in Matt and Bianca into Google or whatever.
Oh, the lady who does my hair. Like, I didn't tell her because I didn't know how she would react. And, you know, you give her she does your hair. She holds the scissors. You're nice. You don't rock the boat at all. And then one time she's like, do you want a glass of wine? I was like, well, yeah. And then she's like, do you want another glass of wine? I'm like, sure, I'm not going to turn that down. Well, pretty soon I'm drinking wine. And somehow she brought it up. She Googled me because she just had an idea. And I had told a mutual friend of ours she knew everything. But she wouldn't tell my hairdresser that. And so my hairdresser was like, there's just something going on. I don't know what it is. So she Googled us, and so I told her she knows everything now.
You know, Tom's had quite a few surgeries, and I swear it's in his charts the minute they give him the happy medicine before they wheel him in
questions.
to ask him where he works.
I invite all the nurses. I give them free passes.
Because nurses are freaky. I was having this conversation yesterday
I
with
kept
someone.
asking them, is it in his records? Is it in his records? And they're all laughing at me. Finally, the last surgery, they IV'd him, and they looked at him, and they go, so, Mr. Sheehan, what do you do for a living? And then the anesthesiologist looked over at me and winked. And he's like, oh, I run the largest swing club in Southern California.
Well, you know, it's funny.
Down the hallway.
It's funny because, like, last time I got my STD checks, you know, because I have that done approximately quarterly.
Yes.
Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
And
My doctor
and like the
makes
doctor,
me do
you know,
it.
the doctor, I felt like, yeah, just give me the full chart, just give me everything. And he's like, is there any specific reason why? And I'm just like, I'm very sexually active because I have a ring on and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, and he's like, okay, all right, okay, didn't ask any follow-up questions.
I thought that was really rude because my doctor did the same. Like, he asked me why, and I was like, because I'm in a non-monogamous relationship. So I was really like, do you want to know the details, sir? Just give me the money.
My doctor asked me, he said the same thing. Well, you're monogamous, right? And I'm like, well, I live an alternative lifestyle. I'm trying to be nice. And he goes, excuse me? I'm a swinger. And then he's like, laughing at me as he's right in his nose. I'm like, well, that was professional.
My doctor was just as good. I said, I'd like to get an STD test and then just an STD test.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about anything else. And she goes, why? I said, my wife are swingers. I thought she was writing a book out. I mean, she would test after test after, and the first one on top was the HIV test. And at that time, that was my first one. My stomach just went into knots thinking, so I go and take the test, waiting for the results, nothing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm waiting for that phone call. No phone call. We finally call. They don't call you if it's negative.
Right.
No, they should call you. I was sitting there sweating for flipping 4 days.
Yeah, no, I'll always tell him, I'll be like, call me just
No matter what.
anything,
Yeah.
just call me.
I said, you put every other result online. She goes, yeah, that was kind of private.
Right.
All of them are private.
You'll put, I'm going to die in a month,
Right.
but you won't put that on there. That's right, yeah.
And that's the one we want online. Right? Because at Kaiser,
That's right, you want to take screenshots and share
at
with other
Kaiser, they don't give you your results.
Really?
So if you want to say, prove your results, we can't unless we went to an off-site testing center. Kaiser does not release that information.
Okay. So back to what we were talking about as far as running into people. So do you have any recommendations, or what should someone do if they do run into someone that they weren't expecting to run into?
Approach them first.
Yes.
That way they have the upper hand. And it's not an upper hand, lower hand. It's just they actually, with confidence, go up and just introduce you. Just say, hey, how you doing? See, we're at the same place. Just want to say hi. If you have any questions, come see me. Walk away. Let them absorb it for a little while, and then they will then go approach the person back. Don't try to stay with them because you'll make them uneasy.
Or don't try to hide from them.
Don't try to hide from
them. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, you guys are both at the same club.
Exactly.
In the same place. You both know something now about each other.
Yes.
It's better to come up and say hi and
the
then hide from each other.
The biggest one is people panic what's going to happen at work on Monday.
It's
going to happen at work on Monday. You're just going to say, hi, how's it going? Just like you did on Monday.
Absolutely.
And no one's going to go run into the boss and saying, guess where they were at, because
the other person.
Exactly.
Except for if you meet a coworker at a club and you're attracted, don't go hitting on your coworker unless you know it's going to be returned.
Right.
Don't make them feel uncomfortable.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't use work as the time to hit on them. Use the club.
That's right. hit on them as much as you want at the club over and over. No. Don't do that.
I have gotten complaints about that.
Yeah,
Some
no,
people have run into their coworkers. They make no mention at the club, but next thing you know, they're trying to get sexual while they're working.
Oh, that's yeah.
And it's not
that's a tough one because I understand. I mean, I would turn it off, but I understand where a lot of people wouldn't because. You know, if we know you guys and we've talked to you, and every time we talk to you, it's swinger stuff. I mean, that type of thing. If we ran into you at the mall, it would be swinger stuff, right? I mean, we wouldn't be just like, oh, you know, we can't talk about this. Unless, you know, maybe like there were kids with us or something like that. That would be a different story. But I can see that happening, especially if I met a coworker and we're just we're at the club and we're talking all night, we're having a good time, whether we did anything or not, but we're open with each other finally. Like, you know everything about me. And then the next day, it's like, okay, turn that off, and now you don't know anything about me anymore.
Right.
It's like, I understand that, but it's still something that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So I assume you've heard lots of stories about people running into, like, family members.
Oh, yeah. We have family members that come.
We've had clergy there.
The clergy one is actually kind of funny, because I've actually heard that from pretty much people all over the country.
Right.
That they, you know, and it's funny, actually, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, that, because they live in a state that there's no clubs at all. It's in the South. And so they actually have to drive to the next state over. And they ran into a clergy member the next state over. So,
we had a couple go through our club. They did the whole tour. And they paid for their membership, but they didn't want to stay.
Right.
And when the owner asked why, they're like, well, you see that couple, and that's our minister and his wife. Now, here's the messed up thing. They knew the minister and wife were there. Minister and wife didn't see them. I would love to be sitting in front row saying, let's talk about morals that Sunday.
Sure. Yeah, we have brothers and sisters that come.
Yep. They run into each other while they're there.
Each other. And of course, obviously, that's going to be very uncomfortable in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then when they go home and they talk about it the next day, next thing you know, this one's here this weekend, this one's here.
They take alternating weekends.
They take alternating weekends, and they babysit each other's children.
Oh, that's cool.
So they've worked it out. We have aunts, uncles, all kinds of people.
Yeah, well, we've run into that babysitting thing where we've talked to people about possibly doing that. It's like, hey, if we all just trade babysitters, you know, one weekend we'll babysit, and a lot of couples are turned off by that concept.
Yeah, because
just in case one kid knows and says to one of the other kids, so our parents are banging tonight, or, you know, or whatever type of thing, that it's like, oh, shit.
My daddy's banging your mom.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, we're just going to not have our kids ever meet each other, ever.
Your mommy's going to be my new mommy.
I could hear those stories.
So, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but I'd be curious, and I can cut it out if need be, but as far as California is concerned, has it ever been an issue with, like, people coming out as, like, if there was, like, a celebrity there and other people, like, are ruining it for them, or...
I've heard of celebrities at other clubs, too, but Freedom Makers, we do get celebrities from time to time.
But has that been problematic?
No,
I mean, I figured you would, but I mean...
Not at all. Basically, most people, if the celebrity feels welcoming, people will flock to them. I'll use Ron Jeremy, for instance, because he's out there in porn, so I'll use him. And when he came to the club, before he got there, no one cared about Ron Jeremy.
Okay.
The second he got there, everyone wanted to meet Ron Jeremy.
Sure.
Kind of the same way with the other celebrities, but if the other celebrities are in their own world, like dancing with their wife, no one bothers them.
Most of the time they don't. We do have one that comes single in the mail.
Uh-huh.
And one of my staff couples, she's like, is that so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to meet him? No. He's here under his own element. And I'm like, it's just so-and-so.
It's just a guy who is here to get laid like everybody else is here to get laid, yeah.
I know, I can't do that. And I'm like, trust me, he's going to tell you exactly who he is and what he does.
Do you know who I am? And trust me, the minute he makes sure he wears sweat so he can drop it, and when he's hanging to his knee, he doesn't have a problem getting to the girls.
He doesn't wear that sleazy sweat.
No, he wears the expensive
Sexy sweats, the sexy ones, sure. The name brand sweats. All right, so, and now you guys are doing videos as well.
Yes. We're doing vlogs. We're talking about clubs from a club owner's perspective, but we're also interviewing couples like you, and we haven't gotten our full niche yet. We've been playing around with different things. We've been playing around with green screens, promotions, and stuff like that.
Right.
But our biggest comments are vlogs just like this, where we're just talking randomly, and they like it when we ask our naughty questions. So at the end of all of our vlogs, we want to ask maybe 5 or 10 juicy questions, so that way when the people want to get down your pants, they have a head up on everyone else.
Okay.
What you like and don't like.
Sure, okay. Yeah, no, it's funny. Those types of things come up a lot with Bianca, because just doing enough of these, people have just kind of found out so much about her.
Well, yeah, no, like when I first started dating my boyfriend, he listened. He, just devoured every single one we had done. He listened to every single podcast. And so on our first date, he knew so much about me, and I knew nothing. It was so weird. And he goes, "This is like all those podcasts are like a how-to date Bianca."
Yeah. What to wear, what not to wear, how to act, how not to act.
He knew I didn't like pineapples, so he was watching the stuff on the menu. We had talked about going to this. He wanted to take me to dinner and then a bar afterwards. And he picked this bar, and then I was like, oh, well, it's a rum bar. He's like, oh, pineapple, yeah, we're not going there, let's go here. And so, yeah, it was
He's
kind of
very
nice.
attentive.
He knows, oh, should I wear a tux? She mentioned she likes guys in tuxes, all that kind of stuff.
He did dress up very nice on our first date.
So far, the only thing they know about me is don't wear a thong and a fanny pack.
We just
that's hot. That's a hot one.
We're going to do it.
Don't do that for me either.
Don't do that for anyone. Unless you're a girl, thong and fanny pack. I'd accept that. Yeah. Bunny, if you want to wear a thong and a fanny pack, I'm all over that.
What about the black socks?
A black sock, sandals. I don't care.
We had an incident at our club. Some guy left his wife in his car and became a douche. And started hitting on a couple girls at the bar.
Right.
And me and Bunny just did a quick video, like 25-minute long one, but how not to be a douche at a swing club.
Right.
After talking to people, they've added their versions of stories.
Yeah.
So now we got to do a whole new douche 2 video.
All right, so how would someone find you if they wanted to?
Our names are Tom and Bunny, B-U-N-N-Y, and everything is under Tom and Bunny. YouTube.com/Tom and Bunny.
Okay.
We're on Cassidy, SLS, Lifestyle Lounge, STC, Tom and Bunny, where we can be found, and you can also go to swingwithtomandbunny.com.
Awesome. All right, and if you're up in the Seattle area, make sure you check out Club Sapphire. It is an awesome club. That's where we go pretty much every Saturday when we can. And Wednesdays. We love it. It's fantastic. And of course, Tom's Trips is an amazing travel agency for everything lifestyle. They're
the friendliest people.
They're amazing. We were naked at the pool with them yesterday.
Right.
So yeah, they're awesome. She doesn't like my karaoke for some reason.
Really?
I like your karaoke.
I love your karaoke.
I like voices.
So they're amazing group. They're actually putting this whole event on right now, and they're also going to be our partners for Everybody Swing at Hedo, which is in late September of this year, and will be every year after this as well. So check that out. Just go to hedotakeover.com and you'll find out more information. And if you want to email us,
Oh, info@everybodyswing.com.
That's like her one line she knows.
Like,
that's your
I was thinking about, do I have time to go get coffee after this? I was tuning out a little.
Yeah, well, it's the babble I do at the end there. Anything else you want to say?
We'll put our link in your comments section.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. All right, thanks so much for being here, guys. We appreciate it.
you.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.